So today I was at the UFC 275 in Singapore. Unusual time to be watching cage fighting, but it was done so it would air on Sunday night in the US. So the doors opened at 5:30 a.m. local time, and the first fight was at 6:30 a.m. Although I think most people got there around the same time as me, around 8 or 9, the main card starting at 10. It was a pretty lively crowd, with a lot of locals. There was a good atmosphere, a lot of oohs and ahs when certain kicks or punches landed, or there was a good grappling move. There was also a couple of Aussie jokers, and you'd hear the odd punch him in the face and kick his dick off. But the fights also didn't disappoint. As far as the main fights go, Weili started well in her fight against Joanna and did some damage from the top after getting a takedown in the first round. The second round was largely on the feet, and Joanna was actually doing pretty well. Then there was an exchange, and out of nowhere, bam, Weili came with that spinning back fist that knocked her out. It was fairly tough to see Joanna flatlined after some of the performances she'd had in the UFC over the years. It was quite a long post-fight interview from both of the fighters there, and then Joanna said she's retired. She's been one of my favourite UFC fighters for some time, so she had some great scraps, but she had a few losses recently and was probably past her prime, so it probably came at a good time. Weili looked very good though, and I have to fancy her to beat Carla Esparza for the title next.
She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 116 pounds, fighting out of Austin, Poland, presenting the former UFC Flyweight Champion, Joanna! And now finishing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 21 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 116 pounds, fighting out of Beijing, China, presenting the number 2 ranked flyweight contender in the world and the former UFC strawweight champion, Weili.
Fight number 1.
In the co-main event, there was a real surprise as Taila Santos, who looked much bigger, dominated Valentina Shevchenko on the ground for the first 3 rounds, which is pretty unheard of. She didn't really do much damage, but she also didn't take any, and she had a few close submission attempts. In the 3rd round, there was an accidental headbutt on Santos, which completely closed her eyes shut, and then Valentina came out in the 4th round, won that one on the feet, and in the 5th round she got a takedown and spent much of the round on top, although she didn't really attempt a submission, which everyone assumed that she needed to win at that point. So on the scorecards, the first judge gave it to Shevchenko 3-2, and the second judge gave the reverse. And even 3-2 Shevchenko is hard to see given the first 3 rounds. Then the final judge gave it 4-1 to Shevchenko, which I think the whole stadium disagreed with. She was booed pretty heavily during the post-fight interviews. As far as damage and how it looked after the fight, you could probably give it to Shevchenko, but in terms of winning the rounds, it's very hard to give a 3, let alone 4. That being said, I think Shevchenko goes back, she stays champion for a while, and in the rematch, I think she'll just know to expect a lot more grappling from Santos, who up to that point had been more of a stand-up fighter in the UFC.
And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding professional record, 22 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 124 and 1/2 pounds, fighting out of Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina! Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Howard Hughes scores the contest. 48-47, Shevchenko. David Weili scores it. 48-47, Santos. And Clemens Werner scores the contest. 49-46 for the winner by split decision. And
Into the main event, you had one of the best fights I've seen all year, with some great striking by Jiří, and then Glover boxing very well and mixing in the takedowns. It's very interesting to see, as Jiří was the much younger and faster fighter with the better kickboxing, but Glover had that real crafty veteran mindset, and he was able to take Jiří down and keep him there whilst doing a good bit of damage from the top. There was some good back and forth moments, but generally Jiří was winning the stand-up exchanges, and then Glover would take him down and win the round there. It was looking like Glover would probably win with about a minute left as he went for a takedown, probably with 3 or 4 rounds in the bag at that point. But then the takedown landed kind of awkwardly, and Jiří managed to get a kind of rear naked choke. Glover tapped with 30 seconds to go. Again, it's kind of tough to see, and probably very disappointed for Glover to lose the title on his first defence, especially the way it came, with him probably being 3 or 4 rounds up at that point. But Glover did look very good for long stretches of the fight, and you get the feeling that he'll still fight a good number of years, even if he probably won't be champ again. Jiří looked very good on the feet, great striking, but I think there were quite a few holes exposed in his game, so I'd be interested to see how he matches up with someone like Jan Blachowicz or Ankalaev, who will try to take him down.
From the sold-out Singapore Indoor Stadium in Singapore! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 28 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of the Czech Republic, presenting the number 2 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, the challenger, Jiří. A mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 33 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, USA, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. into a rear naked choke, and undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jiří.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the new champion, Jiří Procházka. Jiří, how good does that sound? 3 fights into your UFC career.